San Francisco 49ers fans, this is going to be a fun video. I have great news for our Super Bowl chances this season, and it comes with potentially solving our biggest remaining problem. The answer is found in who some are calling overlooked. He's beastie, he's athletic, and he could be the secret sauce. Later in the video, we're going to talk GOATs of 49ers past, and I'm going to tell you about another link between the 49ers and a very, very special individual that could come do a serious job for us this season, going again for number 6. If you're new here, I'm Nate. We are talking the San Francisco 49ers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video if you do like it. It does actually help me out. The other day, we talked about a forgotten player that's going to make an impact on this season, Rock Ya-Sin as a backup cornerback. But Bleacher Report came out today with another article, this time talking about the most overlooked rookies in the NFL. And out of 6 candidates they picked a 49er in Dominic Purdy. Now, I'm going to tell you why they picked Purdy, and I'm also going to tell you more about this link between the 49ers and an outstanding free agent. But first, comment below. Everyone's been talking about the Mount Rushmore of their team and the 4 greats of this team's history, etched in stone forever. So I got to ask, who is your all-time 49ers Mount Rushmore? For me, I think it's pretty easy. It's Joe Montana, Steve Young, Ronnie Lott, and Jerry Rice. Maybe, like me, this was just an easy 4. So if it was an easy 4 for you, I'm going to ask you to do one more thing, or maybe just say, I agree with your 4, and give me an honorable mention or 2, because who are we missing, right? Because nowhere in the rule book does it say it couldn't be a coach. Like, should it be Bill Walsh? Could it be Dwight Clark? Could it be Haley? Could it be T.O.? There are lots of greats in 49ers past that could be on that stone, carved and etched in forever. So let me know. I look forward to joining you in the conversation. I've heard lots of other teams doing this, and it sounds really fun to have that back and forth conversation about the 49ers greats of old. So, before the draft, Bleacher Report put out this grading scale and their top 300 picks ahead of the draft, right? And it kind of starts off, and it's a point system, okay? So generational talent, number 1 overall, and then everyone else after first overall pick, excuse me. So top 5 prospect, top 10 prospect, immediate impact prospect, first rounder, year 1 starter, late first, second rounder, and then potential impact player. Dominic Purdy came in at this high-level backup potential starter 3rd round, coming in at 51 overall. Where is it? There it is. 51 overall rating, high on that particular tier that he was in. That's how he was rated by Bleacher Report before the draft. All right. Now, this morning, they put together an article covering the most overlooked rookies based on their original draft prospect ratings that you see right here and how people are perceiving them now. Dominic Purdy was number 4 out of 6 of most overlooked players. And forget for a second whether they're right or wrong. Okay, forget about what they get right and wrong. Let's just answer this very simple question first. And then I'm going to tell you what Bleacher Report had to say. But just first, if they are right, faithful, if they are right about Dominic Purdy, we have a very, very good situation on our hands. And on one hand, I'm like, wow, yeah, I guess it means if they're right, then we were right all along about our weaknesses on this offensive line because they've replaced him with a rookie. But at the same time, it could be that our rookie is just that good, which is kind of how Bleacher Report tends to kind of frame it in my mind. The 2 areas we needed to improve this offseason, right? Defending against the run. I think we've done that. We can talk about that in a second. But also, of course, the offensive line definitely needed a little bit of love this offseason. And a lot of people were disappointed in the draft, not feeling like we did a good enough job drafting for that situation. Namely, we didn't put our first round draft pick on an offensive tackle. That's the real fear, right? That I heard a lot of people talking about. But here's what Bleacher Report said. The Kansas prospect was ranked 51st overall and number 8 among interior offensive linemen, earning a grade that was only 0.1 points behind first rounder Jordan Morgan. A big reason for that is the combination of his strength and positional versatility. Overall, Purdy is a strapping, powerfully built prospect with an impressive blend of girth, body control, and pad level that unlocks jolting, sudden power on contact. Offensive line scout Brandon Thorne wrote in former Jayhawks scouting report. He boasts the steer and sustain skills to compete and win a starting guard job within his first contract. He also has the ability to play tackle in a pinch, which we did. Boy, it's been like a long time now. Like right after the draft, we talked about this, about his ability to play tackle and him playing tackle in college and what that could mean, despite his differences and kind of size and stuff, being an actual potential threat at the tackle position. There were folks out there saying that's possible. In college, Purdy played in a rushing attack that was zone-based with a few gap principles mixed in, which is very similar to what Kyle Shanahan uses with the San Francisco 49ers. That's good news considering the 49ers could use help on the offensive line outside of left tackle Trent Williams. Specifically looking at San Francisco's left guard situation, both Aaron Banks and Spencer Burford have struggled early in their careers, so there should be an open competition for the starting spot in training camp. There will be. And don't be surprised if the rookie ends up winning the job given his skill set and scheme fit. The only issue I have with what Bleacher Report said is a lot of people are saying more at right guard than left guard. They kind of said, potentially left guard, but who cares? Whatever. I'm not going to quibble over that. We'll see what happens in training camp in a few weeks anyways. It doesn't really matter. The point is, if the guy is as talented as Bleacher Report thinks, and if he is, of all of the players in the coming out of the draft, if he is, and UDFA's too, to be fair, if he is that good, number 4 out of 6 most overlooked players, these guys are studs, and everyone's looking the other way. They're all excited about shiny objects in the wide receiver positions, things like that. Great. That's awesome. That's great news. I love it. Not going to complain one bit about that. And while we're talking about the defense, because we are going to talk about a link we have with the defensive free agent, you probably already know who I'm talking about because there just aren't that many stud free agents available at that position or on that side of the ball. I think we are improved. I think that the coaching change, Kurt, shout out to Kurt. He's always watching the videos. He's always commenting on the videos. He's always reminding you to hit the subscribe button. Kurt is the legend. But Kurt has talked many times about the importance of the coaching change that took place. And that is something we cannot, we have to be careful not to underestimate there, because that is a big difference. Dropping Wilkes, namely Sorensen, Staley. There is a shift there that is going to be, I think, positive going forward. On top of that, you have personnel changes that back that up as well. Now, the concern, of course, being how will Hufanga be coming into the season? How long will it take for Dre Greenlaw to get into a rhythm and healthy, able to actually play games? There are definitely question marks in that specific, kind of on the veteran side of things. But I think the 49ers have made lots of moves on the defensive line. I think there are overall huge positives. We're moving in the right direction. We haven't even talked in a while about Renardo Green. I mean, there are big movements here. I think our cornerbacks are as good as anybody. We're in a really good position right now on the defensive side of the ball for sure as well. We have the best roster in the league. When we declare 53 and they do the, which team has the best roster thing, 49ers will win that, no doubt. So all positive there. Just in case 49ers are looking for somebody else, there was another rumor link up. Maybe rumor's a strong one. But there was an interesting article that came out. Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer suggesting that Justin Simmons would be an ideal fit for one of two particular defensive schemes, Vic Fangio's defensive or the Seattle cover 3 defense. Just saying right here in bold, right there on the screen. I love the idea of Justin Simmons in either the Vic Fangio style of defense he's played in for the Broncos since 2019 or in a Seattle Seahawks type of defense. That's why I'd really love to see him as a center fielder in the Niners defense, which has historically played the Seattle 3 scheme and also just brought aboard Brandon Staley, whom Simmons knows well from the Fangio tree. And that'd be pretty wild. And man, if the team if they can afford to make that decision, then my goodness, that would be huge for the 49ers going into the season, just adding more star-studded names and really going all in on this season, which I think is what the 49ers are going to do. I think that's why you're going to see a deal finally get done for Brandon Ayuk. I'm not the channel that's talking about him every single day. There are those channels, and that's totally fine. I love the Brandon Ayuk conversation. I listen to it a lot more than I talk about it, but there's just not enough happening for me to make a full video on it and feel like it's fully informative. But let me know what you think in the comments about your Mount Rushmore, who you're etching in stone forever 49ers history. Let me know in the comments who are the honorable mentions that you feel like, hey, you know, these are my 4, but let's not forget about these guys. They were big, they were impactful, and let's not forget too the impact that many of these players had on the game. I mean, Ronnie Lott's legacy is interesting because he kind of created a problem for the NFL. He changed the NFL in a weird way because there were dudes that were going out there wanting to be Ronnie Lotts, but they were not perfectly timed and didn't have the speed and power that he had. And so they were missing tackles because they're leaning shoulders and missing guys, you know? And there were just a lot of times that Lott was just right place, right time, right pace, power, boom. I mean, he changed the game, right? So this is fun, guys. This is fun. I love talking 49ers with you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining the conversation. Thanks for getting in the comment section. This is a great time. I love hanging out with you guys. It's worth my time to hang out with you. As always, what a time to be alive.